Hello and thank you for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Before we start the show tonight, we wanted to give everybody a word of warning that each episode produced by Movie Guys Podcast is for a mature audience. You have been warned. Also, all of our reviews are spoiler filled. So if you have not seen the film that we're going to talk about tonight, turn off the show and come back when you're ready to listen. Thank you so much for downloading, and we hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight we're talking about two movies. We're going to be talking about Marvel's, well, soon to be Marvel's Dark Phoenix, and also Men in Black International, or I've been calling it Men in Black 4. So tonight, join us for this awesome ride. My name is Jordan, like always, and I'm here with Eric and Ed. And Ed, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, I'm swinging around. My queen is dead, so now I'm loyal to you, Jordan.
Wow, nice. Eric, how about you, buddy?
I mean, if you're going to go that way, I'm just sitting here waiting for Galactus to arrive, I guess.
Ooh.
Nice. Well, okay, so we're here to talk about two different movies. This is a little bit different setup than what we usually do. So follow us here because this is going to be fun. I kind of want to talk about Dark Phoenix first.
Now we've done something like this in the past where we talked about kind of a versus because these two were released a week within each other. Yeah,
they were, and they were both the fourth movie in the franchise. It's interesting to see where the franchise has gone. I want to talk about Dark Phoenix because I have been a fan of this rebooted X-Men verse. I don't know what you want to call it, the first class verse. First class verse. It's sad knowing that Dark Phoenix is dead. This is done. Sony is done. Or is it 20th Century? Was it Sony? Yeah, Sony.
Is it Sony or are we going with Fox?
Oh no, it's Fox. Thank you. It's Fox. 20th Century Fox. I mean, since Marvel now owns Fox, X-Men are going over to Marvel Studios, Disney officially. So I don't know how I feel about that, but the first two movies in this franchise, personal opinion, I don't know if you guys agree, personal opinion, the first two movies, we got First Class and Days of Future Past, were great X-Men movies.
I would say you got the page up right now. Are you looking at the full filmography of the
No, I just know by memory. I know my memory.
Oh, all right. Yeah, yes, I would say that the first two were fantastic. Actually,
right? And then we reviewed Apocalypse, which was right, just shit.
Yeah, unfortunately so. I think we again with as big a movie as Apocalypse should have been. I don't think we got that. It's a shorter movie. It should have been. Yeah, exactly. Apocalypse is more of a Thanos character. Thanos, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to know because, Ed, you being the comic book guy with this stuff, I was wondering, was Apocalypse supposed to be Thanos? Because everybody, from what I've done, and this is my question to you, from what I've done my research, everybody kind of sucks the dick of Dark Phoenix a little bit, especially the comic from the 70s. But from what I've read online, the comic's actually pretty shitty. It's a lot of discos and just, like, literally discos.
Well, I mean, she's a teenager. Jean Grey doesn't know who she is until she becomes the Phoenix. So really and truly, it's a lot of partying. I mean, discos were the thing at the time. So yeah, but to say everybody sucks Phoenix's dick. I mean, yeah, like she's the most powerful mutant. Yeah, yeah, she's the most powerful mutant ever. Like there isn't anything like it. Nothing has existed before. Now we get to some things later. We do. There's some things that are equal later to a certain degree. But I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it really isn't bad. It's not. I like the internal in the comic books. I like the internal fight that she has specifically once we get to the love triangle between Cyclops and Wolverine and Jean Grey, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it comes later in the comics, but I mean, they don't necessarily, in my opinion, do Phoenix justice in this movie.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
We'll get into that.
We're going to talk about it in a second. So pretty much what you're telling me, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but this is how I heard it. And tell me if you agree or disagree. Mm-hmm. The character of Dark Phoenix is the one that people love. Not necessarily the comic series they introduced her, and that story arc probably wasn't the greatest. But because her being a level 5 mutant and her being this badass, that's what people dug about that series. Is that correct?
That's what I dug about it.
Okay.
I can't speak for others. I tend to have a weird love of like the storytelling in comics that other people just don't like, but that's just me. So, okay. But I mean, yeah.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. I was just curious if about it. Eric, did you ever read the Dark Phoenix comic books? Did this stay true to the Dark Phoenix comics?
I mean, like, not to the extent that I think most people wanted to have happen. I really don't. But I like what they did. And listen, like, casting was really good. I really do like Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. There wasn't even a transitional period where where I had to like adjust to her. I think that she is a very fitting person. I actually liked her more than Wuzu Jansen that did it in the
I can't remember her name.
Famke.
She does have a weird name. Yeah, I don't remember her first name.
She's Dutch.
Yes.
But I liked Sophie Turner, her Jean Grey or Dark Phoenix more than hers than Jansen's interpretation. Not to slam on her as a person or an actress. I just think it just for some reason it just fits. It just fit better. It helps. It helps me go along with the character a lot more. There were a few things that I would have liked changed. For one, the ensemble of the X-Men, I think in First Class, I that was always a thing. Who they picked to be in their first class, I was just like, all right. But listen, like, it's not to her fault. It's not to Sophie Turner's fault. I really think that the writers chose a direction. They took a chance. They were just like, yeah, we just got to do this. It wasn't satisfying. I'm not saying that it's bad.
I'm going to tell you why it's not satisfying, and both of you are going to slap your fucking heads as soon as I tell you this.
Please, go ahead.
All right, this is why. This is a remake, and I'm going to tell you how it's a remake, a reboot. So does everybody know the terrible and wonderful David S. Goyer who wrote the first Blade movie? Blade, who is now considered the godfather of superhero films back when I first started, right?
Don't you dare say that.
That's what they say. I'm just going off of what I've been reading. David S. Goyer wrote the first two, and then he got a chance to direct the third one, which Blade Trinity is shit. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Okay. This director, okay, Simon Kinberg, this is his first big motion picture film. Why? Because he was the writer of X-Men: The Last Stand. He was the writer. Mm-hmm. Did you get it?
Yeah, he also wrote Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Sherlock Holmes and the Fantastic Four shit movie.
Sure, but let's just go off of this. Look at The Last Stand, and you look at this movie.
Ratner, by the way.
Brett Ratner. You look at Last Stand, and you look at this movie. The only credited screenwriter for The Last Stand got a chance to remake his movie because he was never happy with it. So now he's directing this. This is a remake. Do you get it?
Yeah, I want.
Come on.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
I don't know how you can like. I want to disagree with it to Jordan. I really do. But if you're good, this is why again the big disappointment I had with this film is because I feel like The Last Stand with how they did everything, with how they tried to build up the chaos that was Jean Grey and her portrayal, and her turning into. This felt the same.
It is. It's the same. It's written by him too. He wrote the third movie, and he wrote and directed this movie too.
First of all, you don't see Wolverine getting torn apart as he's going to Jean Grey / Phoenix to save. No, wrong.
Okay, well, I like that.
Well, I could be wrong, but I'm just pretty much telling you just the nuts and the bolts of the movie. I just find it very ironic that the guy who wrote X-Men Last Stand, which is a Jean Grey Phoenix story, got screwed, got fucked in the ass by the studio. Right, and the last movie he is writing and directing, and it's the same almost. Not the Wolverine stuff, just the same plot points. The same movie.
Is this the same movie as Jumper? I wrote Jumper too. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Jumper has not. God, it's hard to argue with you because I'm just talking about X-Men 3 and this. It's the same fucking movie.
I'm just saying. Like,
okay.
Well, I'm just saying the world would like to forget about Jumper, please. You don't need to remind us of that. You certainly don't need to remind Hayden Christensen of that either. Or was it Samuel Jackson?
That movie was not as shitty as you're portraying it.
It certainly was.
No, it is.
If you're going to defend it, I think you're defending your own credit. Actually,
first of all, Jumper is really not terrible. It is not terrible. Hayden Christensen just so happens to be a real shitty actor, okay? That had first of all, it was his mom the whole time. Nobody saw his mom coming in Jumper. Nobody saw his mom coming in Jumper, okay? Don't tell me you saw it. You didn't see it with his mom the whole time.
I didn't see shit in Jumper, including the fight scenes that they attempted. Did you see the fight scenes in that? How could you? It's like...
Listen, they were as good as Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Shut the fuck up.
So the whole point of this argument, before we actually talk about Phoenix here for a little bit, is just I just found it ironic that the guy who wrote the third movie again thought that the third movie was a bastardization of his work. So they said, "Hey, what are we gonna do for a third movie?" Because guess what? Here's even more things to prove my point. J. Law, hot A-list actress before Apocalypse. After Apocalypse, did not sign a contract. Michael Fassbender says, "Oh, you want me to do like 5 more Alien movies?" Did not sign the contract. What's his face? That guy from Split. Fassbender. Then you have James McAvoy, the guy who plays Beast. Half of the actors after Apocalypse did not sign the contract. They were done. And then once Disney came in and said, "We're going to buy this. We're buying you." Then they said, "Okay, let's hire the guy who wrote the third movie that they thought was shit. Let's have him write this movie and direct this movie as the last Fox-made X-Men movie." I just find it ironic because there is plot points that are different from those two movies. Yes, of course. But the skeleton, the foundation of the both movies of X-Men 3 and this are relatively the same.
And because the source material is the same.
Okay. So
it would be like, I mean, it's okay. First of all, it's like making 2 movies. Okay, let's talk about, you make one movie and then you make a second movie based upon the same book.
Yeah.
They're going to be the same. The plot points are going to be similar. The stories are going to be similar. They're going off of source material that you talked about from 40-some years ago of X-Men. Just because the same guy wrote it doesn't, I mean, okay, maybe he's trying to make a point.
Yeah, I just find it ironic. I'm not saying shit. I'm just saying it's ironic.
He wrote 2 movies for 2 different timelines of X-Men.
Okay.
And it was from the same source material. It's just coincidental that he took ideas from one and put them into the other. I mean, how could you not?
No, yeah, it's totally coinky dink that he did not sit there going, "I'm going to do it better." Yes.
He took the mistakes and the flaws of the first one and made his second attempt better. Okay. All right. Fair enough. How do we feel about the Hive in this one? I do not like the Hive as a bat. I don't know why we had to have the Hive. I'm not a X-Men comic guy, so you got to forgive me on this. If the Hive is a part of the comic world, cool. But I'm here to review a movie, not the comic.
Are you trying to segue to Men in Black right now, by the way?
No. Not The Hive. Shit, it's not called The Hive. That's Men in Black. We watched 2 movies. What's the name of the fucking people in this? The bad people.
The 3-in-1, the Cuckoos.
Thank you, the Cuckoo. So I just did Men in Black, and I apologize. I don't like these shape-shifting people, by the way, in X-Men Dark Phoenix. Are they part of the comics? Because if they are, cool. But just to review the movie,
a lot of shapeshifters in both Marvel universes that I feel are completely underestimated. Like they do mild introductions, and then they don't do it. It's like these people are like they're usually big in their storylines, and they completely gloss over them. Like if you're a shapeshifter, don't you think you would be more destructive in your way? Like you can probably do a lot more, but I don't know what direction they're going in. I think they're just trying to put an axe in this chapter, by the way.
Sure.
And maybe they'll tie it in with something else. By the way, I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but Dark Phoenix was also a Hans Zimmer movie.
Of course it is. Of course it was.
We're keeping track of scores here, everyone. If you want to, but still, do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, yeah.
Now, my wife and I are in the theater watching this, right? And sure. I'm gonna do Called It because of Movie Guys podcast. Now, I would say if I was not a part of Movie Guys podcast, I know nothing about film, and I was a normal movie person, I never would have called it. We sit in the theater. She's reaching over, chomping on my popcorn, stealing some Pepsi, and before the credits roll, we look at each other, and I'm like, J-Law is gonna die like in the first 30 minutes of this movie because she's J-Law.
Yeah.
And she was like, nope, yep, she's dead. And sure enough, we get the first big battle with Phoenix. Fucking J-Law gets it right through the chest. Damn it. And bye-bye J-Law. Bye-bye Raven. Was that death earned, Eric? Let's go with you first, this one.
No, listen, a lot of this shit... Oh, by the way, I guess this franchise is called X-Men Beginnings.
That's just so stupid. Yeah, First class is better.
I just looked that up. But, like... I still, as far as the character choices, I can understand them being the original 6, or is it 8? And it's on there too. But like that death, sure. I had no. It was fine for me.
Did you call it though?
It really was. I can't say that I called it, but at the same time, I wasn't surprised. If that makes if that makes any sense at all. Like I was just like. Oh, okay. Next,
right.
I guess it's kind of what it was. I don't know. And this is the other thing is that I don't know if it's because it seems to be like a trendy thing, obviously, whether it be from Avengers with those 2 passings. And they're kind of doing the same thing where they're just trying to kind of end, put a cut in the franchise right here, and then they're able to, I don't know, do something else with it later on, and so that's what they're trying to do. End contracts, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it felt like more of, So the emotion wasn't there as much as I see it as like, oh, the contract is up, right? Like that's
right. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Ed, so I was thinking of this question. I wanted to ask you about this one, buddy. So we have 3 X-Men movies. Of the original trilogy, right? Now, let's not count Origins and let's not count the spinoffs, right? We got X-Men 1, 2, and Last Stand, right? Mm-hmm. And then we got the beginnings, the First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix. Which one out of the 2 is in your opinion, the best or maybe possibly your favorite franchise? The first one or the second franchise here of X-Men?
Well, I mean, it's hard to really say because, I mean, first of all, Patrick Stewart as Professor X is like the greatest casting in the history of film. Okay, and Hugh Jackman has spanned both universes.
True.
Okay, so I
have it up right here. Don't interrupt. Do you want me to run down the whole like?
Yeah. The timeline. Yeah, go ahead.
Starting from 2000, we're going X-Men, and then X2, X-Men Last Stand. X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then the reboot X-Men First Class, which is where the beginnings is where we're at right now. The Wolverine, if we all remember that one.
Yep.
X-Men
Great.
Days of Future Past, Deadpool,
Yep.
X-Men Apocalypse, Logan, Deadpool 2, Dark Phoenix.
So, Days of Future Past was literally as good of a movie to me to span several universes as Star Trek First Contact. Okay.
Bryan Singer strikes again.
Yeah, really, really. And they're very similar. So you want to talk about similar movies? You want to talk about rebooting a movie? Like you can touch base there. But I mean, for me, I enjoyed the action level of the first franchise.
Okay.
Last Stand again wasn't that great of a movie, but I mean, I felt it when basically when Cyclops turned over to Wolverine at the end when the only person that can save Jean is him because he can regenerate himself. Like I felt that like that was a great moment in that trilogy. This franchise is not necessarily just a trilogy. I mean, it's like what five of them in this franchise. It's more expansive. But I enjoyed the original one better from just sitting there watching them, enjoying them. These ones kind of make you think too much.
Okay, now that's my question I want to ask you guys before we close out with our Parker race. Is Logan. Now we got the first trilogy and we got this new quadrilogy here. And I know timelines and stuff. What franchises Logan fit in? Is that the original trilogy?
Well, if you remember Days of Futures Past, they crossed the timelines.
Yeah.
So Logan is in the original trilogy.
Okay.
But they're in the present world. Makes sense because they moved over.
Sure. I argue that much like how the book The Death and Life of Superman kind of broke the mold of heroes being resurrected, I feel that this movie or Days of Future Past and maybe movies that are close to it broke this barrier that you can have multiple realities, multiple timelines going on at one part, and thus making it possible to have movies intertwine with each other. So we don't even know to say that Deadpool is in the same timeline, or we could just say that when the Avengers are going to be doing their whole multiverse thing, that maybe one of their crossovers would be the X-Men.
Okay. I was just curious because I was kind of hoping, my last gripe, I was kind of hoping, knowing that it wasn't going to happen, but there was that hope where Dark Phoenix would end with the beginning of the original X-Men movie. That was kind of my hope. I knew that wasn't going to happen because it's like, well, James McAvoy is going to have to age like 50 years and 8 years here. But because this takes place in 92. But I was kind of hoping. I was hoping for that moment to happen. But no, we get Magneto and Professor X playing chess in France at the end, Paris.
Which is a sort of callback to the original one because they're playing chess with glass pieces in X-Men.
Yeah, it is a callback. I'm just saying, though. It's like, yeah. So, Eric, let's go with you first, buddy. What would be your popcorn rating for Dark Phoenix here?
Listen, I was not a fan of this movie. I'm just telling you straight out. Like the action was fine. I love Nightcrawler. I really do. Like he's one of my favorite, just because teleporting and just the way that he can do it. Maybe it was because of X2. Like that was a tight scene in that White House scene when first introduced. That was pretty cool. Maybe that scene was so cool that any scene after that of any Nightcrawler scene in any of those movies would just be cool by default. Appreciated the action in this movie. I was not a fan of the story in it. They gave Quicksilver a lot of camera time. This guy is not an A-list tier hero, but they seem to be doing that all I don't know, just because of star power, and that's fine. They focus a lot on Beast too, and that's fine. I guess I don't really mind that either. I wanted more from this movie, and I don't feel that I was given that. This is a small bag for me.
Small bag for Eric. Ed, how about you? What is your popcorn rating for Dark Phoenix?
Look, this movie is a large bag. Okay, it first of all, forget about that it does tie pretty well to the comics. Forget about that. From a filmmaking perspective, I mean, yeah, you could call Mystique's death a mile away the second her and Beast were talking. Like you could just see it. Like that's just how movies are written.
Good,
but you know, you just see it right then and there. Yeah, but just because it follows the script of writing film scripts doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean I would hate it. I think Sophie Turner was great. I think everything about this generation is very, very well done. It's not as action-packed. They're not as the first generation of X-Men movies. And of course, at the end, we get proof that all women like to be choked because Jean Grey at the end, when her and one of the 3-in-1 they're choking each other, Jean Grey regrips her, and then so it's like, and then that's how the world ends. But anyway, large bag for me, hands down, 100%.
Wow. The views and opinions of Edward does not reflect the views and opinions of Movie Guys Podcast.
Yeah, fuck you, Ed.
Just say it, homie.
I'm actually going to be in Eric's team here. This is a small bag, and it sucks because I thoroughly enjoyed the previous three of First Class and Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse was it was bad. Listen to our review back in the archives on the website. It you know what? Knowing that this was the last one, I wanted to go as an Infinity War kind of one. Like I wanted to go big. And I think that there was a big movie here. They just didn't go big. It just felt very small and very claustrophobic, and it didn't expand it out and get me excited to see what X-Men are going to do. I'm not expecting them to come back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They say they are, but we'll see. So, small bag for me on that one, too.
Can I just say that I actually, for the record, I liked this movie better than Apocalypse.
You know what? I'm going to go with you on that one. Yeah. It feels like I'm on your team a lot tonight, but no, yeah. Apocalypse was a huge disappointment.
I think we're speaking for the Gen Pop here, Jordan, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, Apocalypse was just a complete waste. I was like, oh, Storm's in it. That's cool. And then movie ended. Like, it was nothing special for me. Yeah, damn shame. What also was a damn shame, part 2 of our review here, Men in Black 4. Why?
Why not?
Have a good night, everybody.
Look, I'm just going to say this. This is literally F. Gary Gray's worst movie. Hands down, 100%. And he did the Italian job.
Well, yeah. F. Gary Gray is good for 2 movies. Friday from 95 and Straight Outta Compton, which he just fell into. The actors made that movie. Correct.
Be Cool was great. Law Abiding Citizen, fucking great.
I'm going to disagree on both of those. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Law Abiding Citizen was good until the ending came, and you're just like, well, you could have came up with a different thing than that. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
Now, Men in Black 4, I want to talk about the story here for a second, because I do like the fact that they try to figure out, okay, we don't have Tommy Lee Jones, we don't have Will Smith, how can we do a new franchise? And it's as simple as, I mean, I would have came up with this beginning. I mean, it's a very simple, logical choice. We're going to introduce somebody new. Okay, she was a little girl, they found an alien, her parents got neuralized, she so happened to not, and she spends her whole life trying to find that the Men in Black are real. I can go with that concept. I can go with that beginning concept. I was bought into the movie hook, line, and sinker. And then all of a sudden she breaks into the MiB and they're like, you want a suit? Go to London. I mean, like, the whole movie should have been like a cat and mouse with her in the MiB. Like, no Chris Hemsworth, no London shit, no Hive stuff, no Liam Neeson, just her trying to become an agent, right? Because we want her to become an agent.
I'll argue with that in that, not trying to defend this movie so much as I'm trying to say that this movie is essentially a ripoff from the first one. It really is, just because in the first one you had this person, you had Will Smith, Agent J, obviously, who was recruited because of his abilities, okay, and also more often, or more so because he didn't have any family and he was able to just disconnect from his life, right? Which seemed to be Agent M's, I guess, her big selling point as well too. Aside from showing her devotion and like how her drive to do this, as Agent J kind of had shown by running down a cephalopoid.
Yeah,
I guess it was just one of those where okay, that was just their comeuppance. That was just them showing that too. But I mean, I think the MIB is cool with it because if anything fails, they can just erase your memory and be like, all right, well, yeah, to the street you go.
Right. I mean, but do you call bullshit though when she says to the MIB, I don't care if I vanish, everything is cool. I mean, were her parents, after they got neuralized, were they told that you're going to be shit parents for the rest of your life? I mean, like, where's her parents? Are they still
we're going to
alive?
assume that Agent J didn't have any parents then too. Listen, like,
you know what I'm trying though? It's kind of shitty because here's the thing though. I'm going to argue with this one though. We never needed to see Agent J's parents, so we don't know who they are. We don't care about them.
Jordan,
in this movie,
situation. You know what I mean? 10,000 years ago, we knew that the planet was the center of the universe. 2,000 years ago, we knew that the Earth was flat, right? And just yesterday, you knew that you were alone on this planet.
Hey,
imagine.
Hey, I'm in my cornfield looking over the horizon. You're going to tell me that shit's curved?
Imagine.
All right,
you'll
Kyrie.
know tomorrow.
All right, Kyrie.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, like, it's kind of bullshit.
I can just sum up this movie literally in the following couple of sentences. Okay?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
The secretary from the Ghostbusters remake is actually an alien hunter because it's the exact same movie, just not funny.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. This movie, again, beat for beat, felt like the first one. It really did.
Except
really
not
did.
funny.
It's cute charm. I don't know. I'm just saying that obviously because I am attracted to Chris Hemsworth. Like, I'm just saying that. I am just saying that. I'm gonna mute myself now. Go ahead.
Oh my! No, oh god. Okay, Eric, you're right. But I think the problem with MIB4 is also the problem with 2 and 3. They blew their wad too soon, right? Because no villain is better in this franchise than the Bug, right? I mean, that villain was so great and so iconic, and no other villain has exactly. I mean,
like you, Jordan.
Really? Salt water, all this stuff like
sugar water.
Sugar water. I mean, like, that first villain was so fun and iconic. They have been trying for 20 years to do the same thing, and they just can't. Another question I have is, why is Liam Hemsworth, not Liam, why is Liam Neeson in this movie?
I mean, for star power, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying he's called High T. As soon as he was on the screen, just like fucking Mystique in the last movie we just talked about, my wife and I looked at each other and we said, "Oh, he's gonna be the bad guy." I mean, why is he in this movie? Come on,
Qui-Gon. Paycheck, dude. What are you talking about, man?
Come on, Qui-Gon. Go back to Star Wars.
He was only technically ever in one. But.
I know. Go get your. I guess the fucking Taken paycheck have ended.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude showed up for a paycheck, and that's fine.
Now, of course, this is a teaming of Chris Hemsworth and I don't know this chick's name.
Tessa Thompson.
Now, she played Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok. They were in another movie, they said, too. I was watching TV a few days ago, and they were promoting this. And this is their third movie together because they have so much fun. And they said that they thought the chemistry was great. Do either of you agree with that statement, that Chris Hemsworth and Thompson here actually are good together? Are they a good substitute for Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith? Or not?
I think that was the only saving grace of this movie, Ed. I want to say right now. I think that was the only saving grace in this movie. It's just them bouncing back and forth. Listen, it was simple. Everything, again, beat for beat, everything moved. Any scene that you saw had a beginning part, it had a dialogue, and then it moved on to the next part of the scene. It was every single time. Caught a beat, moved on to the next scene. Hey, where are we going next? Move on to the next scene. Hey, where are we going next? Moving on to the next scene. It kept on moving. That's just how it goes. It played like a PG family movie. That's exactly what it was. So chemistry is what you need for this type of movie, I think, because in its simplicity, you're just trying to have fun.
Okay.
And while that's true, to answer Jordan's question, are they a good substitute for Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith? Much like Aladdin, what we just talked about, where you cannot replace Robin Williams, Will Smith didn't try, he was himself.
Wait, you're saying that Will Smith made this look good?
Nice.
No.
Nice.
No.
Nice.
That's not what I'm saying.
Nice.
What I'm saying is
shut it down, boys.
No. I'm saying you can't compare the two because Will Smith can't be comparable in Men in Black the same way Robin Williams can't be compared in Aladdin. There is just you see those two things and you think of those two specific people.
Sure.
So you can't to say they're a good substitute. I mean, they did the best that they could. I'm not going to knock either of them, but it's just the iconic role of some person is being portrayed by somebody else, and it's hard to compare them without trying to justify it in a way that's just not going to equal anything.
So why London? Why do we have to go to? Why can't this be back in New York City? Why do we have to go to London?
International English. I don't know why. Something different to make it un-American. But un-American enough to where they can still speak English, because it can't be France, can't be Germany, because Americans just don't like that shit.
We Brexited off of that. Thank you. Done.
Wow.
He's right. It's either that or Australia.
No, yeah. Do you guys notice that she had the noisy cricket at the beginning too? She was like, "No," looked at the camera, broke the fourth wall.
They actually did a pretty good. I mean, as far as doing some nostalgia, and callbacks to, because they had the worms in there too. Like
and they had the dog. They had the
pug. Yeah.
So that pug's probably dead though.
Frank.
Yes, good call, Frank.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean it was. Again, like we've said this 1,000 times in our reviews. You cannot go into a movie like this expecting something that you're going to just rave and talk about, you know. But
Dark Phoenix was the fourth, but with in its franchise beginnings, but with the same casted characters. Men in Black, this one right here, even though it's the fourth in the franchise, it is the first in its reboot. Can you see these characters doing another? Would you watch it?
No. I didn't want to watch the second one. I mean, I have never been a fan of the sequels.
I think it's just your hatred of Laura Flynn Boyle, to be honest.
The third one had some interesting moments to it when they go back in time, but the third one pretty much was shit.
The third one, yes, I agree with that. I mean, 2 is, much like many movies like it. I mean, 2 was so different that it's hard to compare them, but 2 is historically seen as as the better of the two from a film perspective.
Better than the first movie?
Yes.
I don't know. It's tough because 2 had a lot of retcon in it.
Mm-hmm.
It introduced a deneuralizer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Men in Black was one of those things, one of those movies that they weren't 100% sure if it was going to take off. Much like let's say Guardians of the Galaxy or Star Wars, for example. They weren't sure if it was going to take off, so they just went for it. They just did everything that they could. And then they're like, oh my God, this is such an international bazillion-dollar hit. We're going to make a sequel. So now we have to sort of figure out the universe of how this whole story is going to work, which is what they did in Men in Black 2. So it was more conservative, but more seen as a better movie. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. More conservative, but still sort of roundabout a better movie. And, of course, Empire Strikes Back, seen as the best of all 8 thus far, by many.
All right. Well, with that then being said, Eric, what will be your popcorn rating for Men in Black International?
Just to get it on the books here, just on the podcast here, Men in Black International. I don't think we said it for Dark Phoenix, but Men in Black, as we record it, budget was about 110 million. Worldwide gross is 103 million. The gross is domestic of U.S. is 40 million, so it's not doing too well, but it's doing better than Dark Phoenix. That's damn sure. Listen, this movie again. I will repeat it again. It took everything from the first movie that we liked, it repeated it, but with different characters. And a little bit of a twist at the end, obviously, with the bad guy being the leader, Liam Neeson of MiB. So, spoiler alert on that. I don't think this was. Oh, I'm trying to find my words here. The first Men in Black was a high bar to set with the chemistry of Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. I feel that this movie was better than the second and the third one. So of the 4, it is the second best. Other than that, this movie is what I call the perfect Netflix movie. This is a great rent it DVD. I would not see this in theaters. You're not missing anything. This is an HBO watch if you can. Like on, for free.
No, Showtime watch.
Showtime watch. Yeah, exactly.
Not an HBO.
Yeah, well, either one. If you're mooching off HBO now off your friend, then that's one thing to do. That'd be great, and which I am, and I would enjoy it that way. but I don't think I would see this in theaters. This is a rental at best. This is I hate to give this a small bag just because I feel that like it should. It's attempting for more, but it just fell short.
Yeah,
it really did. The charm was there, everything else was missing. Small bag.
All right. Ed, how about you? What will be your popcorn rating for Men in Black International?
If I may, for once, for the second time anyway, in this episode, steal the line from the great Dr. Kelso. Eric, you are. Wrong. This movie is absolutely flat in every single possible fucking
Kick him out of the chat here. Hold on.
Yeah. So look, I mean, Men in Black 2. I personally like 2 better than 1. 3, agreed. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. This movie is not. This movie isn't. If this movie's a retread of the first one. It is when the tires are so baloney skin flat, you just turn them upside down and they're still flat. That's all it is. This movie to me did absolutely nothing. The only thing whatsoever that I found enjoyable was the dude from Silicon Valley who was the pawn, and he wasn't even that funny. It was just somewhat enjoyable.
Did you like the Thor reference at all?
Yes, the hammer, the little hammer. But the thing is that was a reference they had to do. Like it was a forced reference, and you saw the second she let that little alien dude go, you knew somewhere along the line you were going to see him again. And where does she see him again? The moment when the almost big bad is revealing herself, right? Like she's telling the story, the chick with the fucking Saturn blonde hair. Like as soon as you saw that person, him, you're like, okay, that's exactly what it is.
Easy call.
Yeah, it was bang bang, and Eric, you were right. Bang, 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 bang. This movie was, but it was so flat. It was so flat that Kyrie Irving would believe that this is round.
Wow.
That's how flat it was. Okay.
Wow.
No bag whatsoever.
No
absolutely
bag.
None.
Now I'm going to flip flop here. I'm actually in Ed's. I'm actually in Ed's team now. I have now traded.
Wait a minute.
And this is a small bag for me. I'm sorry, no bag for me. No bag.
Sure.
No bag. No bag.
I want to try to sell you and disagree with you both, but I really can't. I really feels like this. Yeah, I really feel like this movie was just pieced together of other different movies. Of the first Men in Black, of the Ghostbusters, of Chris Hemsworth's Ghostbusters, or I don't know, Tessa or whatever the hell. I'm sorry,
Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, whatever your Valkyrie was. Yeah, I don't know if it was the writing. I don't think it was the acting. It felt natural as far as the acting went. I think it probably had to have been the writing.
It had been the writing. They just they never should have made the movie. They probably were not going to make the movie.
Yeah,
they
that's
were
what
probably
it is too. The tone, is that what it was? Maybe it's not the writing.
Yeah,
it was just the tone.
It was just the tone. It was. This is the first Men in Black movie was a kids movie in a way, but it had a lot of adult themes to it. And this one, it felt like the Disney Junior version. You know, like you know what I mean? You know,
I do. Because when I say tone, like if this movie had gone from the bar that had already been set from Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, if you were to go 1 degree left or right, I think you'd have a better movie.
Yeah.
If it went darker, more serious tone, was a little more actiony, that's great. Or if you went just full on straight like family cartoony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That might have worked too. There was talks about there being Men in Black and 21 Jump Street crossover.
Yes,
too.
that was gonna happen. The 21 Jump. They had the contract signed. They wrote a script. It was gonna happen.
Go completely to the other side.
Go ridiculous with it. Go ridiculous, because you could have made with the 21 Jump Street guys and Men in Black. You could have made a really hard R comedy, just ridiculous fun movie. That's the movie I signed up for. And instead, I didn't get Disney XD. I got Disney Junior.
You got Nick Jr. You got Stickly in face ready to.
Yeah, no. I got straight Nick Jr., dude.
Look, my dog is even agreeing with me. He's over here hanging out.
No. I got something better. I got a better reference than Nick Jr. and Disney Jr. Nick at Night when we were kids, because nobody watched that shit.
I did all the time. You kidding me? You could catch me missing an episode of Monsters? Hell no, sir.
Fine. How about this one? What was? Oh,
I'm the one person who did. So
fine, you're the one person that did, because I never watched that. No, actually, you know what? Yeah, you know what?
That's when you turned. That's when you turned it off.
Yeah. I mean, of course, I watched the Monsters, but when I was a kid, those were great shows. But I'm saying when I was a kid, I wanted to see Angry Beavers, which as an adult, I kind of find that title funny now. But I mean, 2 beavers are better than 1. So there we go.
Keep going.
That's a song. But thank you everybody so much for listening to our 2 reviews here for Dark Phoenix and Men in Black International. Next week, we are coming back to you with some horror, something we haven't done in a very long time here with Movie Guys Podcast. I believe last time we reviewed anything horror was The Haunting of Hill House last October. So this will be very fun. We're going to be doing the remake, reboot, retelling, whatever they want to put in front of it. What the fuck ever. Okay. Let's just call this the let's write a check so we don't lose the rights movie for Child's Play with Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker himself as the voice of Chucky. So that will be an interesting review coming your way, and we'll be kicking off the 4th of July week in 2 weeks with our review of Spider-Man Homecoming, which is getting good reviews in the press right now. So thank you so much for everybody for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Check us out at movieguyspodcast.com, on Spotify, on iTunes. You can check us out on iHeartRadio, on movieguyspodcast.com, movieguyspodbean.com, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. You'll be able to find us. We are the popcorn logo with the headphones. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll be back next week for Child's Play. Have a good night.